Bureau. Will Hall joins us right now, head football coach at the University of Southern Mississippi. And Will, always appreciate some of your time. I kind of did a double take when I saw that you guys had already started spring practice. It feels like it has gotten here in a hurry, maybe just a touch earlier start than some, but man, we're at the 1st of March. It's time.
Yeah, it really is, and we've always done it early here. It's just what I've always done as a head coach everywhere I've been. Shoot, what is there better to do this time of year? You got them in there, and we lift them and work them out for about 5 or 6 weeks, and then we stretch spring ball out over a long period of time. We only practice 3 times a week. We go Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, so we can really hit each other and be physical and have off days in between and go slow and really treat it like football school, if you will. We really train them on situations and just playing the game the right way, and it's always been good for us. And then if you have a guy get hurt, he can still make it back for the season. And, we're 3 days in. We had our first day in pads yesterday. We'll tackle for the first time tomorrow, and we're excited about where we're at with our program.
You know that Jimmy Buffett had a concert tour that was called Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
I did not, but that fires me up even more because it's fitting that I'm the head coach of Southern Miss for a lot of reasons, but one that people don't know about is me and my wife are big Buffett fans. We've been to a bunch of concerts, and I'm embarrassed that I didn't know that about Buffett, and man, I hope I get a chance to meet him one day because I'm a huge Buffett fan.
Well, if you don't get a chance to meet him, you should at least knock on Scott Berry's door and tell him that you need one of those Jimmy Buffett-themed jerseys that they roll out once a year. Those are cool.
There's no doubt, man. Coach Berry does a phenomenal job. He's just a great man and does a great job, marketing his program, too, with stuff like that and embracing everything that Southern Miss has to offer.
Hey, I want to ask you one big picture thing about kind of the department as a whole, because I know you were there for some basketball. I know you're proud of the job that Coach Ladner's done with hoops this year, winning the conference tournament. I know you're a big baseball fan, and you and Scott are close. Just tell me about the relationship within the department among the head coaches.
It's just a really neat time to be at Southern Miss, from the top all the way down. When you talk about Dr. Joe Paul to Jeremy McClain as our athletic director, all the way to when you talk about Scott Berry and Jay Ladner and me and Joy McNellis and so on and so on. You've got a bunch of people that just really, really get Southern Miss. And, every place has positives that you want to accentuate. Every place has things you want to cover up and try to stay away from. And everybody in leadership positions right now really understands Southern Miss and all that we have to offer, what our niche is in recruiting and what we have to sell. And we kind of all are people that embrace that. We love that. And, man, I can't say how excited I am to be here. I love this place. And I'm excited about how we've built it. I know we've done it the right way. It hasn't happened as fast as what everybody wants nowadays, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Mm-hmm. But going into year 3, if you'd have told me this would be our roster going into our 3rd season when we got hired, we would have definitely taken it.
So along those lines, in terms of inside your head, and I don't know if you've ever laid this out, I'm sure you have somewhere along the way, kind of your schedule, right? You get the job. If we're being honest, you know that the first year is probably going to be difficult, and it was, but you finished strong. You take a step forward last year, 6 in the regular season, and honestly 2 or 3 that you can probably point to, like, this could have been a 9-win season, but then you win the bowl game. And so now you're going into year 3. You just mentioned the roster kind of where you want it. Do you feel like you're on schedule?
Oh, man. I think that when we inherited the program was not on solid footing. It just been a really tough time from the standpoint there were so many unforeseen circumstances, from all the different coaching changes to COVID hitting at the same time to the portal becoming a thing all at the same time. So you just came into a depleted roster situation in so many ways. And we didn't make excuses going through it. We embraced it because we wanted to sell belief and sell what Southern Miss could be, because I really believe, like I've always said, that we can be that best Group of 5 football program in America again. I think we've got everything in place to do it. But to do that, it takes consistent work over time. And now we're 2 years in. Am I on schedule? Man, I always want to win more. I wish we would have won more. I know I'm proud of where we're at. I'm proud of what we've done academically. I'm proud of what we've done with our culture and how we're impacting lives. I really think our kids are doing things right off the field. We just we're at the point now where we're in every game. We were in every game last year in year 2. We could have won several more. We could have lost several more. But outside of one game, we really were in every one of them. And now we got to take that next step and start winning more close games, and maybe even winning a few games that aren't close. And we got a really difficult schedule. We play 2 Power Fives next year that are really good. We play what was the best Group of 5 team in the country. They won 11 games in Tulane. We played them too. So it's probably going to be our hardest schedule that this staff's had since we've been here, and probably be the hardest one we'll ever have here, to be honest with you. But, man, with that comes great opportunity as well. And we're not young anymore. We are deep. So I think the future's bright. I think we're going to have a special season, at some point over the next few years.
Visiting with Will Hall, head football coach at Southern Miss. They are 3 practices into spring ball. Told us just a minute ago they'll kind of spread it out a little longer than some teams do. The very first time we talked, Will, after you got the Southern Miss job, you talked to me about the quarterback position, the pressure that you put on that position, the expectation, maybe that's a better way to say it, that you put on that particular spot because you run everything through your quarterback. Talk to me about the quarterback spot going into year 3.
Yeah, obviously that's been a much maligned situation since I've been here, and that's fair. We've not produced at that position like we should have. That's been disappointing for a lot of different reasons. I've certainly got to take responsibility in that, and I have. We're a place that's always been great at quarterback. At Southern Miss, we've been great through the years, and my programs have always been great. That's the reason I got this job, because we've always been great at quarterback and been great on offense. We're in a situation going into year 3 where we're the oldest we've ever been at that position. We brought in 2 transfers here at mid-year, a young man named Billy Wiles that transferred in from Clemson, and then a young man named Holman Edwards that transferred in from Houston. And both of them, have been in great programs where they, Houston won 11 games 2 years ago. And, of course, Clemson's done what they've done. So they know what great programs look like. They know how to win. They're tough guys. They're leaders and winners. We got Zach Wilkie back, who started several games as a true freshman last year. And then we brought in another true freshman, Ethan Crawford out of Hillcrest in Alabama, who had a great chance to be the player of the year in Alabama. Before he was injured late in the year. So we've got more competition in the room. We're older there now, and they're just really good players. They've got great skill sets, and they're leaders and winners. And so I think we're going to have, we're going to have the best set of foundation right there that we've had since we've been here.
Last thing for you. Got about a minute and a half left. Would you trade Frank Gore Jr. for any other running back in America?
I wouldn't, man, but Frank's my guy. Me and Frank are kindred spirits in so many ways. I think he would tell you that too. He wakes up every day with a chip on his shoulder, and so do I. I was a short guy as a player too, and Frank's not the biggest guy in the world. Frank's got a smile that lights up a room. Frank really has accepted the responsibility of who he is and who he's become, and understands that his ability to impact everybody around him in this program and outside of this program is great. And we talk to our kids all the time about, man, everybody wants to be blessed. Everybody wants to receive a blessing, but not everybody wants to accept the responsibilities that come with being blessed. And Frank really has accepted that responsibility of all the blessings the good Lord's given him. And, man, he just really touches people in a positive way and lifts others up. And Lord willing, he can stay healthy again. I think he's got a chance to leave this place as one of the all-time greats. And this is a place that's got tons of history and tradition, and we're excited about what the future holds for him and us.
Yeah, there certainly have been some good guys come through there in terms of running backs, but he is as fun to watch, I think, as any player that has ever been there at Southern Miss. Will, always appreciate your time. Wish you guys not only a good spring practice, but a healthy spring practice, and we look forward to catching up with you again soon.
I appreciate it. I want to leave you with this, man. I tell people all the time, if you're not a Southern Miss fan, you root for somebody else, that's fine. Just when your team's not playing, root for us because we're doing it the right way with values that this state believes in and with Mississippi kids that a lot of people know, and we're working hard to represent this state the right way. So I really appreciate you guys having me.
You're doing a fantastic job. We always appreciate the time. That's Will.